I'm going to start yet slightly different factoring second degree polynomial case. Very similar to the previous lecture, but slightly different. So factor a second degree polynomial, but this time we are going to try C form. Ax squared plus bx, my x looks horrible. Well, ax plus bx plus ax squared plus bx plus c form. So notice that the previous case we had x squared plus bx plus c form, right? That was the previous. Now we have a here, meaning we have number right in front of x term. So let me give you an example. Let's say we have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. Now we have number, number, number. We cannot use any one of those previous techniques to factor this. Now if it was looks like this, then we would have set it up like that and tried to identify those two number combination. But if we have number there, we cannot use this technique. So the technique that I would recommend is the technique called AC method. AC method. So it's pretty simple in a way. Well, I shouldn't say simple, but it's I guess it's very effective. So we figure out A times C, which is what? In our case, 2 times 3. So 2 times 3, which is 6. And we identify B, which is the middle number, which in our case, 5. So we are going to look for this two number combination, multiply to be A times C, which is 6. Add to be middle number, B, 5. So I'm looking for this two number combination, right? Then I'm going to put it right here and here. Multiply to be 6, add it to be 5. Well, this is pretty easy in a way. I guess it's 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So what do we do with this 2 and 3? Well, what we are going to do, we are going to split this plus 5 using these two numbers. We're going to split this 5 using these two numbers. So our next step would be rewriting this as 2x squared plus, instead of writing 5x, I'm going to write 2x plus 3x and plus 3. So where did I get these two numbers, 2x and 3x? Well, I got it from here and here. Right? I got it from there and there. Okay. So let me continue it in here. Now that I split this middle term, I'm going to group these two together and group these two together, right? Group the first two and group the second two. Then what can I factor from these two? Well, it looks like I can factor out 2x. Then what's left behind? The first term would be x, second term would be 1. Remember that you can always multiply back, see if we can restore this. From this, what can we factor out? Well, it looks like we can factor out 3. Then it's going to be x plus 1, like that. All right. Then, what do we have in common here? Well, we have this and this in common. So why don't we factor that? X plus 1. When we factor this here and here, what's left behind? 2x plus 3. So that's our answer. Answer for factoring this. Factoring this. It's pretty neat, right? Pretty neat. Okay. So let's try a couple of other examples. Right, examples. Factor. Let's say you have 2x squared minus x minus 6. All right. You should stop. You should pause this video and try this on your own and check the answer with me later on, right? All right. So we identified this as those ax squared plus bx plus c form. So we have number here, here, here. We are going to use this AC technique. Remember that one, right? Multiply using A and C, which is what? 2 times what? What's C? Not just 6, but with the sign. So it'll be negative 6. It always comes with the sign. So this would be negative 12. Addition should come from B, the middle number, which is what? Not 1, but yes, we got that right. Minus 1, right? Minus 1. Okay, so I'm looking for this 2-number combination. I'm going to write right here and here. Multiply to be negative 12. Add it to be 1. What are those 2 numbers? What are those 2 numbers? Well, it looks like negative 4, positive 3. Negative 4, positive 3. Now, let me give you a tip. Whenever that you have this 2-number combination as one positive and one negative, always try to write the negative first and positive second. I mean, does it really matter? Well, not really, but is this a better way to write? Yes, that's a better way to write, right? Avoid any further confusion. And I'll tell you why just about now, right? Okay, so when you split the middle term using these 2 numbers, this would be 2x squared. Instead of writing minus x, you're going to now write negative 4x plus positive 3x negative 6. Now, you could have wrote 3x first and negative 4x. But when you group them and when you try to factor it again, that tends to be a little bit more confusing because you have to deal with the negative in front here and all that. So it's better to write the negative number first. Now we're going to group, right? We're going to group these 2 together and these 2 together, right? Okay, so what do we have in common? What do we have in common? Well, we have 2x in common. When we factor out the 2x, this would be x negative 2. Remember, you can always multiply back to check. Now, from the second 2, what do we have in common? 3. So it'll be x minus 2. now that we have the same common term here. Well, let me ask you something. What if these are not the same? Well, if these are not the same, then it's highly likely that you made a mistake somewhere, in your previous steps, right? So this gotta be the same if the given equation is factorable, right? Okay, so once you factor that, our common factor now would be x minus 2. What's left behind is 2x plus 3. And that's it. That's our answer. Pretty neat, right? Okay, so let's try one more of this. So let's try to factor, let's say, 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. All right. Again, you should pause this video and try to do this on your own and check the answer with me right about now. Okay, so multiplication should be 3 times negative 8 AC, right? Which is negative 24. Addition should be the middle number, B. And we are looking for this two-number combination to satisfy this. Multiply to be negative 24, added to be negative 2. So what are those two numbers? Yep, negative 6 and positive 4. Remember that I recommend you to write the negative first, right? So now we can rewrite this as 3x squared negative 6x positive 4x negative 8. Just like that, right? Now we can group them together, group these two together, and try to factor whatever that we can. So I guess we can factor 3x out. Then it will be x minus 2. What about here? We can factor 4 out, x minus 2. Okay, so now that we have common vector here and here, x minus 2, what's left behind is 3x plus 4, just like that. And that's our final answer. Okay,